And so as you're working on your model and you're doing positive things, the software remembers that. So it knew you keyed in 10 previously. It's like, you want to use 10 again? Well, yeah, I do. That would be chaos to just randomly, like, oh, I'm going to make up a number. You'd really hate me. I'm going to put it in 7.6 for no reason. But by left-clicking on it that time to confirm, notice the rest of the model has now been created. Now, I could have done this a different way, and we're going to show you this other technique. I actually will do one all the same, and then I'll hack it apart. We're going to show that coming up here. But notice, if I zoom out in both of these windows, now you can see I've got this other portion of the model. And if I zoom in really close, that one's doing curb and gutter. And if I zoom in really close in the beginning, this one is just doing shoulder and pavement, right? So you can see the shoulder, no curb. So just like that. Now, somebody's going to ask, and they're going to say, well, Don, what about right where the two transition? I don't care yet. We're not doing detailed design. Move on. So I've checked the box right now. I've done the rural. I've done the urban. If a PM wants a quantity, I'm going to give them a ballpark number and tell them it's ballpark. We're still early. Don't front load my project, man. I tell them all the time, don't front load me, because I know they're going to change it, and then all that stuff has to get redone. So understand the process, take advantage of it, and you can get a lot done. So we've got this set up. We've got our model in there. We can continue to look at it, and if I come in, let's start looking at the intersections, because that's always a problem. So in my 2D view, Church Road, I can see that it looks like the ditch is going in there. And if I zoom out in the 3D model and zoom in kind of in that same area, well, darn, we're grading through that whole area. That's not going to work. So, Scott's going to show us in the next portion how we're going to do this trick. I'm going to show you how to enable the trick. So he's going to show you how it's made. I'm going to show you how it's applied. And so, what we're going to do is take advantage of some line work. Now I'm going to point, I'm going to stand up. So if we look here, there's a white dashed line in my model view. And in this instance, that is a match line denoting maybe if we're phasing it, they're going to saw cut or something. That's how they're going to tie in the existing road. But that is literally where the two roads are going to match up. So somebody drafted that. That is a good activity for a drafter. Use the feature definitions, set where the match lines are going to be, and let the quarter model draw the rest of the line work. What we're going to take advantage of is a rule that Scott's going to show you how to do that is going to look for that line. We're going to tell it that's the line we want it to use, and then it's going to perform a transaction, and it's going to make part of my model just disappear. And it's going to be dynamic. So if the geometries change, it's going to dynamically update those limits. That's the cool part. Like, I've seen people redraw. It kills me. I mean, I don't have to do it. I don't care. But I just don't know why they would. So we're going to take advantage of this. So to do this, Scott's designing this, and you're going to see, and he says, Don, if you set this as what we call a external reference, or a corridor reference, excuse me, it's going to process my little technique. So all right, we're going to do that. Let's give it a try. So I'm at Church Road's intersection, this white line work that we see here, right there denoting that saw cut line. What I'm going to do is go on my ribbon. We're up in the section for corridors there. And I want to come over to the group name called miscellaneous at the bottom. So you see that section called miscellaneous. And there's one, we can see it right there, I'm hovering on it, called corridor references. So we're going to tell this quarter model to look for this line. This specific line, it has a name. Find that line. If it's the right symbology and all this stuff that Scott's going to set up for me, make it go away. So let's go ahead and select quarter reference and follow the mouse prompt. It says, locate your corridor on my mouse. So what we learned is that cyan line work around the outside was the corridor. To be quite honest, you can kind of pick anything. It's kind of hard not to pick the corridor because it won't let you pick anything else. So I'm just going to kind of meander along there to the edge there. You can see I'm hovering on that corridor, the daylight limits there. And I'm going to left mouse button click. Then it's asking for something else. It says locate the first reference. That's the line that was drawn. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to hover, and I can see there's this match line. The pop-up information says it's the church match line. I'm going to left click on that line. Now, it says locate other ones. We're going to do that in a minute here. All I want you to do for now is right click once. And when we do, well, cool. My intersection just like cleans up. That was easy. So thanks, Scott.
Magic.
And if you can imagine, as the roadway geometry changes, that's going to keep updating. So it's just going to problem solve. Moving on.